Namaskaram. Hello guys and happy World Environment Day to all. And today's video is dedicated to Environment Day. So first of all, we will start with introduction. So what is World Environment Day? A World Environment Day is celebrated annually on 5th June and is United Nations principal vehicle for encouraging awareness and action for protection of the environment. UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030. So, the theme is reimagine, recreate, and restore. For too long, we have been exploiting and destroying our planet's ecosystem. Every 3 seconds, the world loses enough forest cover to cover a football pitch, and over last century we have destroyed half of our wetlands. As much as 50% of our coral reefs have already been lost, and up to 90% of coral reefs could be lost by 2050, even if global warming is limited to an increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Ecosystem loss is depriving the world of carbon sinks like forests, peatlands, at a time humanity can least afford it. Global greenhouse gas emissions have grown for 3 consecutive years, and the planet is on pace for potentially catastrophic climate change. The emergence of COVID-19 has also shown just how disastrous the consequences of ecosystem loss can be. By shrinking the area of natural habitat for animals, we have created ideal conditions for pathogens, including coronaviruses, to spread. With this big and challenging picture, World Environment Day is focused in ecosystem restoration, and its theme is reimagine, recreate, restore. This World Environment Day will kick off the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030, a global mission to revive billions of hectares from forests to farmlands, from top of mountains to depth of the sea. Investing in ecosystem is investing in our future. World Environment Day 2021, which counts with Pakistan as host country this year for its official celebrations, calls for urgent action to revive our damaged ecosystem. From forests to peatland to coast, well, all depend on healthy ecosystem for our survival. Ecosystems are defined as interaction between living organisms, plants, animals, people with their surrounding. This includes nature, but also human-made systems such as cities or farms. Ecosystem restoration is a global undertaking at massive scale. It means repairing billions of hectares of land, an area greater than China or the USA, so that people have access to food, clean water, and jobs. It means bringing back plants and animals from brink of extinction, from the peaks of mountains to the depth of the ocean. But it also includes these small actions everyone can take every day: growing trees, greening our cities, rewilding our gardens, or cleaning up trash alongside rivers and coasts. Restoring ecosystems carries substantial benefit for people. For every dollar invested in restoration, at least 7 to $30 in return for society can be expected. Restoration also creates jobs in rural areas where they are the most needed. Some countries have already invested in restoration as part of their strategies to bounce back from COVID 19. Others are turning to restoration to help them adapt to a climate that is already changing. So, what is ecosystem restoration? So, ecological restoration is the process of assisting the recovery of an ecosystem that has been degraded, damaged, or destroyed. Ecosystem. An ecosystem is a geographic area where plants, animals, and other organisms, as well as weather and landscape, work together to form a bubble of life. Ecosystems contain biotic or living parts as well as abiotic factors or non-living parts. Biotic factors include plants, animals, and other organisms. Abiotic factors include rocks, temperature, and humidity. Degraded ecosystem. Degradation or destruction of large natural environments when one ecosystem is under attack as a result of natural or man-made disaster. How to restore them? It's a phrase that's been on lips of scientists, officials, and environmental activists a lot in the last few months. Ecosystem restoration. So, this day, 5th June, World Environment Day, marks the official launch of UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, a 10-year push to halt and reverse the decline of natural world. Ecosystems can be large like a forest or small like a pond. Many are crucial to human societies, providing people with water, food, building materials, and a host of other essentials. They also provide planet-wide benefits like climate protection and biodiversity conservation. But in recent decades, humanity hunger for resources has pushed many ecosystems to breaking point. So here are the 8 main types of ecosystems and some of the things that can be done to revive them. First is farmlands. Over-intensive use, soil erosion, excess fertilizers, and pesticides are exhausting many farmlands. Ways to restore them including reducing tillage, using more natural fertilizers and pest control, and growing more diverse crops including trees. This step can rebuild carbon stores in soils, making them more fertile so country can feed their growing population without using even more land. The restoration of farmland also creates habitat for wildlife. Forests. Forests and trees are being cleared to feed humanity's hunger for land and resources. Logging, firewood cutting, pollution, invasive pests, and wildfires are damaging what remains. Restoring forest ecosystem means replanting and reducing the pressure on forest so that trees regrow naturally. Food systems are a major driver for forest loss. Reconsidering the ways people grow and consume food can help reduce pressure on forest. Degraded and disused farmlands can be ideal for forest restoration, which can also mean nurturing patches of forest and woodland in landscapes that include busy farms and villages. Lakes and rivers. Safe and abundant water has become a luxury. Freshwater ecosystem has been degraded by pollution, overfishing, and infrastructure, as well as extraction of more and more water for irrigation, industry, and homes. Restoration means halting pollution, reducing and treating waste, managing demand for water and fish, and reviving vegetation above and below the surface. Grasslands and savannas. Shrublands, grasslands, and savannas are being overgrazed and eroded, converted to agriculture, and invaded by alien species. Humans can help them rebound by clearing woody vegetation and reseeding native grasses. Lost plants and animals can be reintroduced and protected until they are established. Mountains. In mountain regions, clearing slopes for farming or houses can trigger dangerous erosion and pollute river at their source. Soaring temperature are forcing species, ecosystems, and people to adapt or move. Humanity can counter the trend by reviving forests and restoring the protection they provide against avalanches, landslides, and floods. Officials can plant dams and roads to avoid fragmenting rivers and other habitats. Farming techniques like agroforestry can be more resilient in the face of climate change. Oceans and coasts. Marine ecosystems are under assault from pollution, climate change, and overexploitation. But the solutions are as common as the threats. Governments and communities can make fishing and mangrove harvesting more sustainable. They can properly treat sewage and other waste and stop plastic trash from entering water. Coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrasses must be carefully managed and actively restored so that ocean can continue to support billions of livelihoods globally. Peatlands. Peatlands and their massive stores of carbon and water are being drained and converted for agriculture and degraded by fire, overgrazing, pollution, and peat extraction. Avoiding dangerous climate change means holding peatland carbon where it is, wet and in the ground. At the same time, humanity must re-wet and restore many degraded peatlands. For instance, by closing drainage channels to halt their emissions and protect rare plants and animals. Urban areas. Cities and towns can seem like ecological deserts. There's little room for vegetation amid the houses, roads, and factories. Waste and pollution imperil waterways, soil, and the air. But urban areas have huge potential for restoration. Citizen groups and municipal authorities can clean up waterways, let bee-friendly plants grow, and create urban woodland and other wildlife habitats in parks, schools, and other public spaces. Mowing grass less frequently is cheaper for cities and allows nature to thrive. Permeable sidewalks and urban wetlands protect against flooding and pollution. Contaminated industrial areas can be rehabilitated and turned into places for nature and recreation. So, we will end our video with a thought. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. That is the least we can do. Thank you.